Most people running the wheel strategy are picking stocks completely wrong, and it's quietly killing their returns. So I'm going to show you how I filter through thousands of stocks to find potential candidates to trade and give you some criteria that I utilize. We'll even scan together so that you can duplicate this and trade it on your own. Let's get into it. Section number 1, a quiet killer is liquidity. So many people utilize stocks that have bad liquidity. And what does that mean? Well, it means they have wide bid-ask spreads. They experience a lot of slippage, a bid of 210 and an ask of 220. This is fantastic. That's a tight bid-ask spread. That means buyers and sellers are close together. Transactions are going to be easy to achieve. It's not a headache. That's great. An example of bad liquidity, bid of 150, ask of 330. You could drive a semi through the bid-ask spread there. They're $1.80 apart. You don't want to waste your time on illiquid stocks. Section number 2, we need to have specific criteria. And the key here is really picking a sound business. Finding things that have growth, finding things that have reasonable valuation, finding things that have a competitive advantage against companies that they are competing with. Some technical criteria to make sure that trends are in place, some technical patterns so we know what to expect. Having a framework to work on is vitally important to being successful in anything that you do. If you are going to be in the financial markets, trading and investing, you should have criteria so you know where you're successful and things you need to fix. Now, this is a pretty basic list of criteria for wheel strategy stocks. If you're serious about generating monthly income from the wheel strategy, that's exactly what we teach at the Cashflow Academy. Links are in the description below. Let's get back to the video. All right, so we're going to come in here to FinViz.com. They've got a great screener tool. And if you come into the screener, you'll notice there's fundamentals, technicals. We could even scan by news. I usually hit the all button so that I can scan for some fundamentals, some technical criteria. And from here, we punch in some of the details that we're looking for. And I'll just punch in a few. Let's say that we want some valuation. We want a lower peg. Let's not make it too strict. Let's just say under 2 on the peg ratio. That means the valuation compared to the growth is somewhat reasonable. Let's say that we want EPS growth because we want to make sure that this company is getting better. So it's expected to grow next year by over 20%. Its growth over the next 5 years is expected to be over 20%. Maybe even in the recent past, we've seen some solid growth at over 10%, just to make sure that over the last little while, we've been seeing some growth patterns and that the business is getting better, right? We want quality business, companies that are improving, they're bringing in more customers and so forth. Next, we could start to add some technical criteria. And this means we want it to be optionable and shortable. If we're doing the wheel strategy, it has to trade options. We want good volume, good liquidity, and a reasonable price. We don't want to trade penny stocks, and we don't want to trade illiquid stocks. So notice here, I'm putting over 2 million average volume. That means it trades a lot of stock volume per day. If the stock is heavily traded, the options are more likely to be heavily traded. Next, we can make sure that it is above its 20-period moving average and above its 50-period moving average. We can make sure that the stock price is rising. And right there, with some growth numbers, some technical numbers, we're down to 2 candidates. We've got a gold stock and Netflix. Now, we could have been less strict over here with some of our growth numbers. We could have cast a little wider net by saying, okay, let's not make it too hard to jump over this hurdle. If we wanted more candidates, again, maybe in the rear view mirror, we wouldn't be as strict. And you can see as we take less criteria, we've got more candidates. I'm going to sort them from highest volume down to lowest volume. That's going to give us our best candidates on down, meaning what's the most liquid stocks out there? What's heavily traded? We've got Netflix and Silver Corp and Freeport-McMoRan in the copper space. We've got Paramount, Corning, and more gold stocks, and some technology, some basic materials, industrials, a variety of different sectors. Why did I sort them by volume? Because we are traders. If we're going to be moving in and out of options, I want high volume, which is going to mean tighter bid-ask spreads in the options. So my list of candidates right here is this top 10. And quite frankly, I've got no problem narrowing it down to maybe even the top 3 and saying these are the 3 that look most interesting to me. Of those 3, 2 of them stand out to me, Freeport-McMoRan and Netflix, because I'm very familiar with both stocks, both companies, and I know there is great liquidity in the options, so they would stand out. Now we've got some potential candidates for will strategy. Next, we could do a little bit deeper dive within these companies. Now, Netflix has been down in the dumps. Recent reversal above the 20, above the 50 here recently. And why? Why is it getting back to the upside? Paramount is going to take over that Warner Brothers Discovery business. Netflix has bowed out of it, and investors are cheering that on. They're saying, look, Netflix, you're better off making your own content, doing your own thing, not paying a premium for that other content over there. So we'll see if that's right. But right now, that has changed the trend, and now we are making higher levels. So Netflix could be a candidate I wouldn't personally chase here. I wouldn't mind seeing a little kiss off this prior breakout point, this gap area, and then I might consider it right here on a buy the dip scenario. We have now scanned for criteria. We've filtered based on volume. We found the highest volume, the highest liquid assets. We would do a little more fundamental research to make sure we would feel comfortable owning this stock for an extended period of time, because that's a big piece of the will strategy. And you've got some criteria to work from there that's going to put you in better liquidity situations, better stock candidates that we know are expected to grow their EPS, grow their business, and get better and better for the foreseeable future. Now that you know what stocks to look for, the next question is, well, how do I actually execute the trade? That's what I cover in this next video here. And if you're new here and want to learn how to use options to generate consistent weekly income, check out the Cash Flow Academy in the description below. We'll see you in the next video.